What's up, everybody? I'm Jason, this is Freebird Garage, back once more on the flat tracker project. We are installing the Buell gear camshaft. It's a common upgrade to do for these Sportsters. Let's get into it, figure out why and why we're doing it. Let's get to it. All right, guys, so last video I had on this was getting the motor all torn apart. We are doing the hammer kit from 883 to 1275. Last video, I had everything kind of essentially pulled out of the boxes, what everything came with. This is their top of the line kit. And after I went through everything, one, they missed the lifters. And that was crucial to me, so I made a phone call instantly the next day from when I was filming the video and talked to Hammer Performance themselves. And their only explanation of why they didn't leave out lifters was that you can just reuse them. And pretty sure everyone's response was, when you're in the motor, why would you use the old lifters? There's no reason to use the lifters. They come in at inexpensive cost, and I picked up a new set here right there from them. This is the comp cams. This is the ones that they actually have on their shelf to put in new motors if you want it, but it was never offered to me. I think that's kind of shit, because if you're first time doing this, or you're getting into it, I guess you should at least have some mechanical knowledge to know that you need to replace the lifters because you're in the motor. Why would you not? And to get this to my door was like 150 bucks. And when you're going into a $6,000 kit to get this done, that is minute to be able to upgrade. So Hammer Performance, offer that, or at least tell the person that's purchasing this package if they should have that, all right? Enough said with that. We are upgrading now the pinion gear for this motor. It is a weak part of the Sportster Evo motor, and we are going to use their kit, which is the Buell gear, all right? This is made by the Buell division race team, is specifically mentioned as far as what I could find online of why and what and who, is that this gear is like the primo of all the Buells, to make sure that for high horsepower wear points that you replace this, all right? 26391-06 is the part number. I'm sure if you search it, there's plenty of companies out there that probably sell this, but it's kind of cool. It's a brass fitting. We're gonna replace it with on there. I'm gonna see what the run out is on my current gear to see what the difference is. My bike is a 95 Sportster 883 and had 40,000 miles on it. So lifters and anything else that'd be aware about, I would assume that would be at that point of 40,000 miles. We're gonna take a deeper look and make sure that we're replacing what needs to be in there and done. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get it on. All right, so if we were to split the case, we're pretty much down to the last components almost of what this motor is. And you realize after you pull everything apart, how small these motors really are. It's kind of nice. Going from a big twin Evo to this is very much easier to work with, in my opinion, just how small everything is. I'll say that now until there's a problem, right? So we have our pinion shaft here. We got our pinion gear back here. And you got to take off this nut here in order to get that gear back here. And there's no way you're going to be able to lock this up without having the proper tool to be able to get this nut off. Hammer Performance does sell the whole kit like this. This is the block that's going to hold that pinion gear, pinion shaft still, okay? Comes with even a little cool little sticker there. Okay. Hammer Performance. Bam, look at that, all right? I actually keep all of my stickers in one place since I've been working on bikes. I've yet to use one sticker, and one day I'm gonna sticker up something really cool with all those stickers, all right? Like souvenirs. You spend all that money and they give you one sticker and it makes it worth the while. Something in automotive about having stickers. So we're gonna get this in place and I'm gonna lock this up, see, or at least attempt to do it, okay? Just goes in just like that, look at that. Make sure we're, nope, not quite. There we go. Twist it with your hand, which is nice. The big twins, not as easy to pull it with your hand. Kind of funny when you just kind of just grab it like that, you can turn the whole motor. So let's get these bolts in place here. We go right into the casing. One thing too is when you're doing this, it's a little bit off. You got to put a little torsion into it. And anything I've realized when you're doing this with the motor and you got to put a little bit of torsion in, you got to make sure you're going into like aluminum casing. You got to be spot on. You can yank the threads out super easy when you're doing that. Learned it in the past, do not do that. We don't do it again here. Or cross thread them, bam. Okay, let's tighten those down. Sure that they go, yep, nice and smooth by hand. Nothing worse than doing all this work and then you cross thread your casings and then you just gotta pull the whole motor apart. Which still, I'm about there. I got everything torn apart. I don't know why I'm not pulling the whole motor out. Still haven't figured that out. Did that for the last one. Usually if you had everything else wrapped around, maybe you would save your time here. There, nice and snugged, down, any movement chance. All right, now we got to get that off. So I probably should mention too, there is a factory tool that pulls this off that's more common than the hammer one. The hammer one is designed by obviously Hammer themselves to make this nut come off and pulling this gear off. So let's see how far we get, because the other one's kind of pressed on. So we're gonna pull this nut off. That's off. Now we got to get the gear off. All right, so I don't have the exact tool, so we're going to try and use another tool I have to see if we can't pull that off now. So now we have to remove the oil pump. So all that tool really did was essentially allow us to get the nut off and then obviously put the nut back on. So now we're gonna remove the oil pump, which originally we were, I guess, gonna do, but now we're gonna really do it. Pretty nasty as it is. Doesn't hurt to just get this all cleaned up at this point now. Probably rebuild the oil pump. Maybe we can get around that, but there's no way. And I don't know if the original tool, I think the tool that they tried to tell you that you can get away from would allow us to at least be able to get in there. I know for sure the way that's designed with the space, we could do that. Hindsight's 2020. So now we should be able to pop this right off here. Oh, there it goes. And we are freed up. Simple as that, all right? We'll double check that. We'll come back to the oil pump now, because we'll be cleaning that up. There it is. All right, once again, show you guys, can't remove that by hand. And we're gonna use a Jim's tool that I use for my FXR, if I previously didn't mention that or not, to pull this off. So we still gotta use an expensive tool that technically wasn't stated, all right? So we're gonna wanna get this, it'll hit. If not, I gotta create some washers on this. Got just enough, come on now. We're on there good. If not, we'll be replacing some parts here. Yep, there it goes. All right. I think my hand was in the way of the other one, so. Didn't know if I was ever gonna use that tool again. That's awesome, all right. Bam, there we are. All right, so I already went ahead and removed the snap ring that holds on the shaft to the oil pump while we have it out. Just pull it out, see what we got going on. Go, smooth, nothing really wrong with it. I just wanna make sure that we are fully clean. We're gonna get this O-ring out well, simple enough. Leave this hose on, and all the values look pretty solid. There's nothing really in the motor, but just to make sure that we are cleaned up, and remove this gasket as well, and washer side. And hopefully this comes off nice and easy. There we go. One side done. All right, so I was gonna do a tolerance check on the stock factory steel pinion bushing, but there's nothing wrong with this one. It's perfectly fine. There's no wear marks. This is an 883 and it was driven by an old lady. So it was very well tamed on this bike. There was no banging gears, there was no over revving, so there was no major wear on this one. Now here's of course the brass bushing, and why did Buell upgrade this is because in the later years of Buell, in particular the Buell Lightning, is because of how high they would rev the motors. They would get up to about like 72, maybe even 75, and even redline some of those bikes because it was made for like a sport bike version of essentially the Sportster. So they were having this bushing originally in the motors, and they were cracking and destroying because they were being revved so high, so they moved them up to here. This became a factory part essentially for the later years of Buell. In particular, I know the Lightnings had these. I don't know about the other models, but I just know the Lightnings had these in like 99 to be able to get away from that. And the oil pump changed a little bit, but this was the main devastation that you would have in the motor of this cracking, or it would wear so thin and then eventually break off the gear pieces there and then go throughout the entire oil valley and destroy the motor. So that's the biggest difference, is that Buell was revving so high up the way from 72 to even 7,500 RPMs, and it would destroy this gear. So they went with brass. All right, let's get it in. All right, we are reassembling now the pinion bushing and gear there. And in the kit with Hammer, they gave us some red line lube here, or assembly oil, it is one of the best ones you can go with, at least in my opinion. Stuff is awesome. So we're going to get our pinion bushing lubed up here. And you can use motor oil as far as what even the manual says, but we're just gonna make sure that it is nice and doused in this stuff. In the book, it does say you can use a liberal amount, so I'm just gonna make sure that that's all on there. And there's a keyway right here. Didn't have to swap that out. It's good to go. And we'll put some even on the shaft here, just to make sure. That should slide right over. Boom. Okay. Did check the pinion gear. Everything still looks real nice on here, so we don't have to worry about that. And same thing, get that dunked around. There is a timing mark on here, which when we go and do the oil pump, that will play a major part in making sure we get this on the right side, okay? So the tool that I removed it with isn't going to work to install it because we're stopped right here. I thought I'd be able to get it just enough threads and get the bolt to essentially guide it in. And we gotta make sure that we're lining up the key slot, which looks like we're right there, with pinion gear. But I think what we can do is use another one of the tools I have to install a certain shaft on a transmission for the FXR. Put this over, we can just probably just bump it ever so slightly until we get some gears going. There we go. Should be right there. You're on there. I had to finagle the keyway for this to get on there. Just using that insert with the rubber mallet seemed to work out pretty well. No damage to anything. It's all good. Wasn't like it was a massive pinging or pounding against the pinion gear, so we're good there. And we would just need now the nut itself. Now we would put Loctite on here, but it's about as far as we can get because the oil pump needs new gaskets, and I don't see any gaskets with the kit that goes for here. All right, good news is that the pinion bushing and the gear is on, all right? But the bad news is what was given to me still doesn't match up. And I get it. When you're working on this stuff and you know you're gonna get into like at least the heavy engine work, you need to have some mechanical experience to be able to get into this. But when you advertise, right? You're gonna advertise a kit that says on there that pretty much little to no experience of working on motors, you can put these kits together. Now, it doesn't say exactly which kit, just generally in all of their kits on there. Now, if I was new to doing this and it says by anyone can pretty much install these, you'd be pretty fucked at this part because you wouldn't realize what you would need to be able to pull that gear off when they're giving you the tools to remove that pinion gear. They give you a locking bracket to hold it down and pull that nut off. Problem is that you still need a way to yank off those gears. I had obviously previous tools from working on my FXR that I knew would be able to fit in there after we got into it. Kind of assumed with the part that maybe that I could either tap it off or maybe pull it off in some way, but you know, we got it on. I'm excited about that, but the tools for me to get those on and the ones that I use, they're pricey. That was something that I bought on another obviously install that costs a lot of money. And if I were to probably just bought the actual said tool, or if they mentioned to buy said tool to install, this would make a lot more sense for anyone else to do. So that's my biggest problem right now with this kit. Seems like there's every little bit of that kind of stuff, but it's easy to overcome. But if you're first time doing this, you'd be pretty frustrated or have a lot of questions on how to get certain stuff apart, all right? But for now, guys, that'll about it for me in this one. I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit the subscribe button, tap that like, press the notification, leave a comment below and tell what you think. And for those who already subscribed, thank you, and as always, stay free. Catch you guys later. Peace.